You're listening to The Nerd Report.
And hello, welcome back to the Nerd Report. It is me, as always, the Rubik's Cuban, the Cuban Missile Crisis, Lord Nerd of House Nerd, King of the Andalites, and the first memes, the Daydreamer of Elm Street. 1, 2, Freddy's sending you nudes.
Are we updating this out for 2018?
3, 4, better block your phone.
No.
The announcer with the power to yell, go! Lo, 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 lo! Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Oh my god! Triple H, you son of a bitch! I swear to you'll never see anything like this ever again. So watch. Welcome back to the Nerd Report. And back with us are our trusty friends, Zach and Delvin. What's up, guys?
This is Sir Blue Milko, aka the Beijing Colombian, aka the Shoeless Wonder. I am not wearing shoes right now.
You never wear shoes. Like, this is your thing. Like, you're just like
hard shoes.
Like that his feet. So like by extension, I guess he gets shoes. I don't know what's up with that. Like, his man does not wear.
There's a very big contradiction there.
Always wear feet.
Just all have holes.
Feet are hard. You can strike a match on them. It's.
It has to be a safe foot thing.
It's gotta be.
Better feet. Wow, yeah, guys. This is Shanlong here, Delvin, a resident nerd dragon. Just here enjoying the AC because outside it's baking right now. And looking forward to meeting you guys again. It's been a while. You haven't done this since what? A week?
Since like
after Anime Con,
Yeah. Since you're at your place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it at my house? Yeah, we were recording at my house. Yeah. Whoa.
So a lot has happened.
Like crap audio.
Yeah.
So we want to start with a little round table. So it was October, Halloween month, and it was like 1,000,001 jam-packed shows on Netflix. Haunted on Hill House, Sabrina, Daredevil was not a horror, but it was just like an amazing show. But we want to just cap off on some roundtable discussions and to get our feet wet, as Kevin Spacey would say.
That's in poor taste.
So, what's your favorite horror movie? We'll start with Delvin.
Here's a confession. I hate horror movies. I'm like the big scaredy cat.
What?
I can watch them, but I don't go my way to watch them, and I scare pretty easily. That being said, the closest one that comes to mind is one I saw recently called It Follows.
Great. So that's not cool because you just picked mine.
That's yours?
That's mine. That's my pick.
I was about to say that's a great choice. That's a great choice.
Well, I mean, I guess it's yours. I guess we'll talk about it a little bit more. It's basically a film about a sexually transmitted demon. And that's the quickest way I could actually describe it.
STD.
It is an STD monster. Yeah.
Basically, I found it to be very inventive and horrifying in an interesting way.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a Hitchcockian type vibe where they play with the camera angles a lot, and it forces you to look at what's going on in the background as opposed to the main cast. And I love the premise, I love the shots, the direction, and I love how horrifying it actually was when they encountered the creature. So that's one of my favorites. Another one I can think about off the bat.
You only get one.
I only get one?
You only get one.
Shit.
You only get one.
Yeah, I'm trying to narrow down one at the moment.
So you have to represent for the next one.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
You know what's coming in
the
next one.
You stole my pick and I'm on the spot. That's fine. Yeah, what up to Nick? Nicky Boy is on live.
What up, Stout?
Thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for joining. What's your favorite scary movie? tell us. So we're gonna go with Zach because I don't have my pick yet. So Zach, like,
It should be obvious though.
what's your favorite scary movie?
It's a shame that horror comedies come into my head. Horror comedy is another great genre. Of course, not that scary. You'll get jump scares at most, but they're still great films.
I know which one you're gonna pick.
Shaun of the Dead.
There you go.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I love Shaun of the Dead.
I watched the audio that day. It's so fucking good.
It is because it's just like you still get the element of the zombies and the scariness and the trying to survive thing, but it's all in a very comical situation. The whole Queen scene when they're in the pub.
That was like, I was like Ed, his friend Ed is like, just like the pothead who is like just gives no shit about the fact that he's in an apocalypse.
Yeah.
And like, man,
Answer my phone.
cell phone ringing and please crowd. Is it 2 seconds? Just hold on.
The whole movie happens only over like I think 48 hours at most.
Yeah.
It's a very condensed thing compared to most movies where it's over a series of weeks, days, and whatever else.
Right.
Yeah, right now only horror comedies come to my head because I watched that this week.
Yeah.
It's always a classic.
Shit's popping in my head.
You only get one, man. You only get one. Like mine. So like mine. I mean, for me, it's a Spanish film. It's called Los Parecidos, and it's in English it's called The Similars. So you know, like, right? So there's a number of Spanish films Spanish horrors that get adapted into U.S. films.
Yeah.
Like when we saw Wreck, which is like
Wreck is crazy.
Wreck is basically Quarantine, the movie, and Wreck is
a way better, way far superior version.
Yeah, Wreck is wild, and it's it's the only thing is like it's from Spain, so people from Spain, their Spanish is just
that's the original one.
Yeah, that's the original one. Yeah. So like even though I speak Spanish, like when people from Spain speak, it's just like all these TS sound like I don't know, it makes no sense. But for me, it was definitely Los Parecidos. Is this film that's set in a train station, and the story is like everybody is little by little turning into an image of one man. So like men, women, and children are all bearing the face of this bearded man, and they're just like morphing quickly like this virus. They're just taking like everybody by control, and it's like a very like body horror type of story. Like even there's like this very gruesome scene where this woman, because she started like turning into the man, like she went to the bathroom and she just started like slicing off the skin off her face.
Oh shit!
Like and the whole film is shot in black and white, and like it has a interesting twist to it. Like you will love that twist. But it's a really cool twist.
I'm sold.
Yeah,
I have to check it out.
You gotta check it. So we got It Follows, Shaun of the Dead, and Wreck. So it's a recommendation for you if Halloween passed you by and you saw nothing scary. Test yourself. Do something, man. Come on. Just do something, man.
Can I have an honorable mention? Because it goes without saying, if you haven't seen it yet, please watch Ghetto. I think Ghetto is...
I actually have not watched it.
It's one of the ones that it defines... Like, I don't watch a lot of horrors, but it presents a type of horror that a lot of people probably have not seen in film before.
Right.
I think it's very thoughtful. I think another thing that I like a lot is that it starts from a very relatable place. I mean, even if you're a black or white or whatever, meeting the in-laws for the first time is definitely something that is kind of
nobody enjoys it.
Yeah, nobody does.
And
So to see where it goes from there is just groundbreaking.
That's just a modern day anxiety attack there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I always say, man, it's not like it's a movie that everyone can enjoy, regardless of whether you're white or black. Because there's a lot of white people who are in the cinema. And they enjoy the hell out of Ghetto. Like they were
the scenario is like
it's very relatable.
It's relatable and it's terrifying.
And it's interesting, even if it's not like it's an interesting concept that you want to cover just on a story basis. Is good to see.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna plug my laptop so you guys gonna handle the next step. So this is what I'm shooting to you, Delvin. So microtransactions in gaming. Because we have this thing where, like, in gaming, everybody's now trying to make you pay to play a game. Like, you're basically buying half a game when you buy one. And all this money has to go into getting characters, getting packs. So, like, is microtransaction ruining gaming, or is it something that you think is necessary?
It depends on the type of game you're making. I am not really a big fan of, what I see Angry Joe brings this up a lot because he's on a personal crusade to end all microtransactions. So I'm seeing this thing where you're playing PvP or player versus player type games, and you have to basically pay to win. So like certain types of guns or certain types of items or certain types of objects are locked behind a paywall, right? Which I think is whack. I don't think that's something that should be ever endorsed. I think that
I definitely have something to say on that. But when you've done your thought,
yeah. So is my point of view of microtransactions is twofold, right? So on the one hand, if you're buying a game, I don't buy games day one if the content isn't really delivering that much. So if you're buying a game that day one at full price and you have to get like a lot of these packs later on, my consensus is just don't buy it day one, wait till the packs come out and then buy everything one time. You're probably going to end up paying like the day one price anyway. Right. We're going to have a full product. Just wait a little, you know. Don't pre-order it so quickly. That's one. And two, I don't like, again, same point I was making earlier, I don't like pay-to-win practices. I prefer like...
No games have that.
Yeah, you should, if you're doing PvP, it should always be skill-based. You shouldn't have to put money in just to get an advantage over a player or the game itself, because I see the new Devil May Cry 5, Capcom had something like that, where they're saying that certain weapons are available only via DLC. And the developer was saying that they made it so that
which game?
Devil May Cry 5 new one's coming out. That true weapons are DLC that are not available in the game at all. And they made a point of saying that these weapons are not anyway stronger than weapons you find in the game. It's just three different types of animations that you would get that you wouldn't probably.
So it's aesthetic.
Yeah, it's aesthetic.
But you're basically just playing a pretty looking gun.
Yeah, it's basically you play. You want to play a Mega Man gun? But it's not necessarily more powerful than what you would find.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important that developers be aware of the type of game they're making, because particularly Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is a skill-based game. Has always been. That's what it's turned into. So people don't want to have a situation where, to beat this game, I'm just going to spend money. Oh, sure, you don't want that, because that kind of kills the whole point of the franchise and the game you're making. So if you're aware of the type of game you're making, try not to make your DLC something that thwarts that.
Right.
I don't know, because Nintendo, because I'm the most Nintendo gamer, their recent games, they've been trying to avoid DLC. Like, that will, especially that type of pay to win. A good example is Splatoon. They promised free downloadable content for 2 years. And we've been getting new weapons, new stages, patches, everything. And that's free. The only DLC that we've had to pay for was extra story mode. And all you get out of it when you beat the story mode is that you can change your character from an Inkling to Octoling. There's zero advantage to doing that. You get one extra weapon, which is pretty much just a reskin of one of the other weapons, and you get some extra gear to put on your characters. That's literally like one of the best examples of having DLC and having paid DLC, and it gives literally no benefits. You can choose not to get it, and it's just more games should be like that.
There's in points where like it does operate in a fair way.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Now, but for me, like I am now getting into more playing like football games. So the DLC thing is something that is just out of control. Like the microtransactions in football games and sports games
I don't play sports games.
Like, bro, like it is just almost pointless trying to play a game, because I don't play online anymore. I just play offline. Because there's things where you can play online and you play like My Club or like in FIFA Ultimate Team. So you get these packs, right? And in a pack you get like a player. And you add that player to your club. So obviously everybody wants to get the Messis, the Ronaldos, the Neymars. Everybody wants like the big players. So to get those, you have to get like very lucky, and you have like almost like a 2% chance of getting them in a pack.
Oh, wow.
So to get them, you gotta pay.
So it's basically gambling.
Right, it's basically gambling. Because like you have like, they give you some free points, but then like those probably like are enough to buy like 2 packs, and then like the end you get like Loris Karius as your goalkeeper, and then like you do have to really push to get the players you want to get. So there's a lot of people who are like playing like this one guy. There's videos on YouTube, you can see this. Like this one guy paid almost like £5,000 to try to get Ronaldo. Like people actually pay money for this. Like really, really pay money for this.
That is disgusting.
And like the online play is garbage because me and my little free to play mentality, I try to play online. And I go and play against people whose like team is like Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Mbappe, Ronaldinho. It's like, how the fuck like everybody's just like blazing right past me. Like my defenders can't catch up. These men score like 12 goals on me in a game. So it's like there's really no point to this if you're not paying.
It sets a very bad precedent. Because we understand how expensive games are to make, sure, right? By the same token, is that if you're making a competitive type of environment for your consumer, it defeats the purpose in having a pay-to-win system, because what's going to happen is that people are going to sit down and say, all right, well, I can have like a mini economy where they put real money in order to compete. Mm-hmm. And then those who want to get serious about the game but don't want to put any money into it, it's like, well, I could just like forget all this and just play something else. What would suck? Actually, imagine this happening, and it happened already in the game, kind of inadvertently, where you have DLC characters who come out after the fact, who end up being like actually better than the characters that were in the game, right? Just end up being top tier.
Right.
Like for example, and it happened in Camp Fighters, right? Like Camp Fighters has like a team DLC for Camp Fighters 13, where like all the DLC characters are top tier.
Right.
So at tournament level, you always see a DLC character in a team because he's just so fucking good. I think Dragon Ball kind of had that problem, but it wasn't a situation where the DLC characters were necessarily better than exponentially better than everybody else in the game.
Right, you just had to pay the money to get the character.
You had to pay the money to get the character, right. but one of the best characters in the game is a DLC character, that's Bardock. So it's like
my boy.
Right. So it's like if you want to compete, right. You don't have to pay Bart to compete, but it kind of would help to have that character because he's so fucking top tier, right?
For sure.
You don't want to have that as a price where people think, okay, right. For me to talk, if you make the other characters exponentially better or that much better than everybody else, right. It's going to kill the nature of the game. That's what I'm earlier to say. Like, you have to understand what the actual core appeal of your game is to make pay microtransactions work.
Exactly. For me, I think is I would really hate it. I don't want to play a game and actually like unlock the characters I play. Yeah. Like I'm more of an offline player guy, so for me, like microtransactions is something that's really, really getting in the way of it.
Yeah. And it killed Final Fantasy too. Well, I killed it, but what we're seeing now is like last Final Fantasy that came out, they didn't release a complete game.
Wait, is Final Fantasy 7 is the remake even coming out?
Supposedly, they've been saying that.
That is the detox of gaming right now. That is like it's coming soon. No, really, it's coming soon.
Well, they've been saying that about Kingdom Hearts 3, but Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally actually going to be here next January.
I really just hope that
it's going to be here.
They have a release date and everything. So
Square Enix.
Let's hope they stay to the release date.
Square Enix.
So we want to get to our next section, or roundtable, and you haven't seen Daredevil season 3 yet.
No, okay. I haven't seen that all.
You haven't even seen season 1, but so Daredevil season 3 is this season. Like it's where the Kingpin finds out his secret identity, and let's be honest. As far as like the series go, secret identities in superhero shows are kind of pointless right now. Like everybody knows who the heroes are. Like in Flash, like every person knows who he is. They literally just walk into Star Labs and he's just there in his suit without his mask. Like he just unmasks himself to everyone. Like there's really no point to having a secret identity, like and stuff like that. So I'm just like seeing how series are moving away towards like keeping that dual identity as a purpose. And do you think that in superhero stories that secret identities are necessary?
Absolutely. I've seen it done outside of the modern. So, for example, Marvel, you made a good point. Marvel does not have emphasis on superhero stories right now, aside from probably Spider-Man. Obviously, Peter Parker. But in other superhero stories, especially in Japan, I'm still seeing secret identities being a thing. Hero Academia has a bit of it. Yes, they have people that know what the main characters look like. I don't know if you follow the manga or whatnot, Hero Academia or the anime.
I follow the manga somewhat.
Yeah, because people know of Midoriya. They've seen his face on TV and with students from the sports festivals, for the media, or the incidents.
Right.
But the consequences of that have also been shown. It's like, oh, this is the dude that
makes for targeting.
It makes for targeting. So what happens is that
because heroes in that Hero Academia, heroes are public domain.
Right.
So there's no much of that like secret life. It's kind of like how Steve Rogers and Tony Stark are.
But
just
the consequences of that are still there.
Right.
Because what happens is that villains, if they know exactly what you look like, they're going to target you outside of like school. Or what kind of happened now is that to adjust how the movies, the kids to live on their actual school.
Spoilers, by the way.
If you watch the season 2, right?
That isn't.
They're moving to the dorms now. They don't stay at home anymore after the.
If you haven't
watched season 3, spoilers.
Yeah. They stay in the school now because like the consequence of that is that
families could be targeted.
Exactly. So yeah, they kind of play for laughs. That was okay. You don't have to have a secret identity, but I think that I like the whole thing of there's an actual danger here. Yeah, there are more than one way for you to target a hero. It's not just like bad guys gonna fight hero and that's it. And he's gonna target the hero's family. He's gonna target the hero's friends. He's gonna target. He's gonna find ways to get at the hero that is not going to be so easy or black and white for him to save the day. And I kind of like that I think that's one of the cornerstones for what makes the genre so appealing, because you have to worry about protecting people and doing your job, but at the same time protecting yourself and people around you. Right. And the people who may not have agreed or signed on, he weren't asked for you to participate in this act of heroism. That's what makes it to me so well. Unless you end up being Batman, I have no fucking friends and be a total loner, then you're gonna have to worry about having a secret identity and having a life outside of secret and saving people at the same time. And that's one of the things that makes Peter Parker so compelling, in my opinion. That's the essence of Peter Parker, in my opinion. Balancing Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Right. Zach, you're not like much of a superhero guy, but what are your thoughts on that?
I was just thinking, it's not even necessarily talking to people who care. I was trying to think of scenarios. I can't remember, there was some superhero thing I watched as a child. There was a situation where somebody knew the superhero. So they had, it's probably a played out situation, but it's just sticking on my head. You save a person you love, you save actual, like a crowd of people.
I think that's Spider-Man.
Was it Spider-Man?
It's Spider-Man.
I've seen it in the cartoon as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It probably is Spider-Man.
Yeah. So it's like
there's situations like that.
Could be Batman. Yes.
It's because there's
no. It was literally like you save Mary Jane.
Oh, this
or suffer.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, there's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So secret identities, I think, are very important because situations like that, if they arise, because you're putting morality on the line now. So that's a very important thing to try and avoid. Because like, how would you actually react in that situation? You in a cinema can sit down and bitch at the screen, say, oh, of course you're going to save the woman you love, or save the people, fuck the woman, you can find another one. But what would you actually do in that situation? Yeah. So I think they're very important for sure.
Yeah. Right. I still like the whole thing of, I like the tension I build as well. How to have a person who is very different from how he is as a hero, and how he is as a normal guy, for whatever reason. Like, obviously the classic one is that Bruce Wayne is the mask and Batman is actually who he is. I like that. I always like that form of storytelling theme. And
for sure.
And I also like the thing with Spider-Man, whereas like Spider-Man is essentially Peter's way of de-stressing. Right. So I always like that kind of angle.
Yeah. No, for me is I definitely think that it's necessary, but it's less for me about, the whole thing about being able to save your loved ones. Right. I think that superhero stories right now kind of fail to capture the point of having an identity. Because if you look at these characters, so many of the things that they do as a career and as a job inform who they are as heroes. So Daredevil as a lawyer, that's a really big part of who he is as a hero and how he sees the law. In the Daredevil Netflix series, Daredevil has probably been in court like 3 times. Barry Allen, who's a forensic scientist, that informs a lot of who he is as a hero and his reasoning to things as the Flash. Like Barry Allen in the Flash has probably solved 2 cases in his whole like on-screen presence, like if any. Like the man I rarely see the man at work unless it plays into some kind of story where he gets into trouble at work. Like the man has no job. If he has a job, he doesn't do it. So like, it's that thing of showing like why that secret identity is important to the essence of that character. It's something that's really missing. Like I really want to see something that shows you Superman as a reporter, and actually someone who goes out there and like reads, like collects news and like how his journalism mindset affects his objectivity as a hero.
I think you brought up a very important point. It definitely is a question in terms of skill and the type of heroes. So if we look at Marvel's case, like look at the people that have their identities revealed. Okay, so Captain America is a super soldier. And everyone knows his face because his face is public domain, right? So he has nothing to hide, right? Iron Man, Tony Stark doesn't give a shit. 1 and 2,
he's rich, man.
He's rich. He has resources. He has no cares, right? And even a consequence of him revealing who he was, Iron Man truly saw that consequence where he essentially bombed his house like 5 minutes later.
Well,
that, you know what I mean?
It ain't for me, right? That was his own downfall.
That was his fault, but
he gave that man
all the information.
It's like, yo, I live here. I can be here at this time. If you talk shit, then calm down.
Yeah.
And then next minute, man was like, oh crap.
He fucked up. But again, that wasn't before consequence, right? Thor obviously is not a human, so he doesn't worry about that fucking shit. Yeah. Right? Doctor Strange, he's differently dealing with things that doesn't worry about secret identities. They don't have to worry about secret identities as much as opposed to say Peter Parker. Right?
Correct.
So I'm kind of wondering, like, if it is really kind of the type of stories that are being told right now. Frank Castle has to hide it, bro. Maybe you mentioned that.
He has to hide because he's a goddamn criminal.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a bad man. But let us know what you think on that. Do you think superheroes need their own secret identities, or do you think that they should just, go out there and be like, hey, I'm Spider-Man?
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes a Spider-Man.
Next thing we're going to look at is Mr. Speaking of Dead, House of Cards. Mr. Kevin Spacey has been just written out of the show. And now the new season has premiered on Netflix, and Claire Temple, that's not the person's name.
Robin Wright.
Yeah. Or her name is Claire, right? Yeah, Claire Temple is from Netflix.
I don't know.
She's from, Claire Temple's from Luke Cage, my bad. But
Claire Underwood is a character.
Yeah, Claire Underwood. But Claire Underwood now is the lead star of the show, taking over from Kevin Spacey after his whole scandal happened. So, you, Delvin, you're a big fan of House of Cards, and you've been watching it and so forth. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I only watched episode 1 so far this new season. Here's the thing. So this thing with Claire being the protagonist and the lead person, this was in the making from last season or season before. Because last season, Claire actually broke the fourth wall. So House of Cards has this thing, for those who have never watched the series, the main character is basically
hold on.
It's basically about
I am fucking this up, my lord.
It's basically about a main character about a guy who is he works in the Senate as a House Whip, and his job is to just coerce people to vote on certain bills, right? That's his job. But he has ambitions to one day become the president, right? Do something that has never been done in history, just move from being a whip to being a president-elect, right? And basically he schemes and lies and cajoles his way to get him what he wants. And all the while he speaks to the audience and breaks the fourth wall, kind of like Deadpool, but in a more sinister way. And just tells you what's on his mind or what's happening in this particular scenario. And that's basically what the entire show is about, right? And usually is from Frank's perspective. So he alone always speaks to the audience.
Yeah, he has that like out of body thing where he that breaking the third wall.
Yeah. This is very much a Deadpool, just with less jokes.
And it's pretty creepy when he does that, because the first thing he did that, I think it was in last season when like Claire just turned around to the camera. And then she was like, "Yeah, I know you've been there the whole time."
Yeah, that's the first time she did it. So that's what it was so like, because when she brought the fourth wall, and she never stopped, and then the camera was like, "Yes, in case you didn't know, I know you've been here the whole time." And this is the second she actually addressed. The first time she addressed the audience, but the second time she did it, because the first time she did it was the end of the previous season, season I think 4, where basically she was looking at the camera with Frank as he was speaking. So it was like, oh shit, he sees us as well, because she's literally addressing us with eye contact, right? So this is not out of nowhere. It's just that if you're following what's happening in the real media and the whole Kevin Spacey scandal, you're gonna kind of know what's happening behind the scenes with regard to this series. And my only complaint is that they didn't just like switch perspectives. They erased Frank Underwood's, which is Kevin Spacey's character. He's erased from the show. Like, they wouldn't even they don't show his face. They show like literally like body parts, and they show his hand in the casket. He's killed off in the show. They show his body parts, and like they show like they talk about the character and show like certain things or certain things that people associate with Frank Underwood. Like, for example, the character kind of knocks on the table or knocks on wood every time he wins something or he gets. He achieves a goal. So I have this knocking song to represent Frank in episode 1 for what I've seen. And I'm like, okay, this would work better if you could have actually shown the character, like as a vision or something, because she has visions from time to time in this episode. But they're so like keen to not show anything of Kevin Spacey at all on the show. That's kind of weird seeing it progress. But, it's still a good show. It still has excellent writing. Claire Underwood is still an awesome character. I love Robin Wright, and I think she's up to the challenge of being the person who's the central focus of the show. Apparently, from those who watched ahead of me, they said that Claire is pretty ruthless. Actually, more ruthless than Frank.
Claire was, she's definitely was in with all the evil stuff he did, and even kind of encouraged it.
She was. I think. And here's the thing: I always like Claire as part of being like the better side of Frank, because they work very good as a team. It's kind of it transcends being a husband and wife, because it's kind of like a partnership.
They have a very interesting relationship, because there's like an open relationship where like they don't sleep with each other.
It's not about sex or even romance.
It's interesting, like the way that it turns out. It's very like I'm not gonna say it's like weird, because people have their own kinks or whatever. But it's not. It's definitely interesting. I don't know that if I had a wife that looked like Robin Wright, that I would not be trying to seduce her. I don't know. That's just me.
But that's the thing about it, is that he loves her deeply. But there's a line where at the end, in previous seasons, where Robin was having an affair with the dude, and Frank knew about it, right? So he was already bothered. But the dude was stepping out of the lane. He was like, she's in love with me. And he was basically stepping out of the lane. And Frank basically told the guy, don't try to confuse what you have with what me and she has. And, and Robin Claire basically looked at the guy and was like, yeah, he's kind of right. Like, I love you, but what we and Frank have is totally transcends anything to do with emotion. Because essentially, the whole master plan, which was established in the previous season, was that Frank was going to become president, serve 2 terms, and then groom Claire to be the next president. So they will have 8 years of Underwood. That was a
One Nation plan. Underwood.
Right.
Yeah. So it's an interesting show. It's very political. It's definitely it's a bit of a slow burn, but it's always very rewarding for that. So more discussions talk about the chilling adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah, Netflix had a lot in October.
Netflix had a lot going on, man, and I caught on to every single one of those things very slowly, because I had a heap of schoolwork to get through. So like I was trying to watch the show, watch the episode, do some work, watch the episode, do some work. I'm now at the last episode of Sabrina, and it's a pretty good show. It's based on a comic book, as many things are these days is called The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. And it was a comic book that was brought through the Afterlife with Archie series. So like Archie Comics went through an overhaul in 2014, where they would then have all these new different kinds of like stories based on the Archie franchise. And one of them was Afterlife with Archie. And it was a zombie story with the Archie characters. And it was a story where Jughead becomes like a zombie. And he goes into Riverdale, starts biting people. And then all of a sudden, you know, like Riverdale just becomes overrun with zombies because, you know.
That's the concept. God damn.
But really, like, when you look at people who are hungry, who's hungrier than Jughead?
It's true.
So he was like legit the zombie king, and everybody used to worship him and so forth like that.
It starts being cute when he starts biting people.
Exactly, right? Like, you know. And Sabrina, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, became like another part of this called the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. And it is by far like the most successful of that show. Like both books are on hiatus. The Sabrina series is definitely my favorite. It's more supernatural story. And it goes into more darker than like the Melissa Joan Hart Sabrina that you knew about.
Yeah.
You know, this Sabrina does like pagan rituals. She kills people. She does all kinds of dark magic. And Hilda and Zelda, they're not like these like sweet old ladies. They are pretty grim. And it has all these different kinds of arcane things like the occult arts. It digs into the occult in a very expansive way. So when I found out that this Chilling Adventures of Sabrina TV show was coming, I was very excited for it. I really wanted to see what would come of it. And I'm not disappointed because it is horror. I do think like horror does work better on film. As I said, like film was made for horror. And, you know, there are many things that the show is able to do that a comic would not do. It's, I would give it like a definitely recommend, but for me, it didn't live up to the comic, like what it could do.
I got a question for you. Does the cat, the Salem, does he talk in the comic? Or
in the comic, Salem speaks.
Because I heard on paper that he's not speaking.
Yeah, he doesn't speak in the show, but in the comic, Salem speaks. And he's a very grim guy. Like Salem actually got turned into a cat. Because in the story, like the familiars are like goblins who turn into cats, but in this story, Salem was a warlock who got turned into a cat as punishment for trying to bring forth the apocalypse.
Oh,
right. So Salem is a serious man. Yeah, so that's kind of the story. All the familiars are like old witches and warlocks that were turned into animals as punishment. And
so did they give a reason why he didn't speak, or
in the show? No, like he's just that's just how he is.
So he's just a regular
very
cat.
vocal online
about that.
It's not like Salem is not something.
But I must say, like, the cat is pretty well done. I don't think his animatronics. It seems like is most definitely it's some sort of CG, or maybe they have like an actual cat. Because on the red carpet, there was actually, I'm going to see if I can find them, but there were actual pictures of the cat on the red carpet doing the walk when the show premiered. I'm going to find those pictures for you. But yeah, like, did any of you get a chance to check that series out?
Sabrina, no.
I had that to watch after Haunted, which I'm now done Haunted, so I can move on to Sabrina now.
Yeah, right. Oh, you got to see it, man. It's definitely a really good show. It has, like, the comic, it had a good feeling of dread. This is just a very creepy show. It's not, scary to the point that you're gonna not fall asleep, but it's definitely worth checking out. So I'm gonna show you guys a picture of the cats walking the red carpet, and the picture did not download.
Technology strikes again.
So yeah. What do you guys? Because Netflix has been on a roll recently.
It's been pretty good. They've also been on a roll in the cancellations. So there's not a lot to talk about that because, I heard that Iron Fist got canceled.
Yeah.
And,
Cage got canceled too.
Yeah. But
after.
For me, Iron Fist was not something that I really liked. And it was on its way where it was starting to become... It started to get less viewers. Like, season 2 got much less viewers. Season 1, it was definitely like the hate watch factor, where people just gave this show a lot of views because they wanted to see how bad it was. But like season 2 was legit. It was a little bit better, but still terrible. And Luke Cage, I was surprised about because I thought like season 2 of Luke Cage was really good. I heard people complaining about how the Jamaicans didn't sound authentic and all that
that's
stuff.
a standard,
right? But like,
I want to start because I was listening to the director talk about his vision for the show and how season 2 was an expansion of that. And I think it's very interesting how he has the show reflects on every evolution of hip hop. So obviously he was talking about the first part was the Wu-Tang era.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
The second one was basically let's go to the origins of hip hop. And obviously the Jamaican influence when it comes to how hip hop came from the Caribbean influence.
Yeah. And I do like the Jamaican parts that play into it. Like the story of the Maroons. Who the slaves that escaped and built their life in the mountains. Like all of that was played into that. That was a really rich lore that kind of played on the whole Black Panther part of it. I did like Bushmaster as a villain. I think it was really good. One of the better villains that Luke Cage had since Mahershala Ali as Cottonmouth. So I was really surprised, and the ending of Luke Cage was fantastic. Like it ended at this point where it's not to spoil it, but it ended at this point where it was like, yo, where does this go from here? And I feel like we'll never know.
I mean, you might.
Somebody could pick it up.
I think this might be a really coolest marketing employee.
Well, all this is you have the Disney streaming service.
That and the Thanos Snap as well. You can sit down for that.
Oh,
yeah. They got snaps. So
they got snaps that don't exist.
Yeah. So
but there is some people have been saying because it's in Netflix, the Disney streaming service is coming up. Like it might just be a fact that they might be taking those shows out of Netflix to put it up. I hope that Daredevil doesn't get cut because. That show is always fantastic and always welcome for me.
I can't wait to jump into that one for sure.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
I just have so much on it in terms of watching and reading stuff.
Oh, take your time, man, because it is so good. Another show that came out is The Haunting of Hill House, which is what Zach has been watching. So you said that had you scared the other day.
Well, they did a jump scare so well because normally I watch a lot of horror films. You could tell when they're coming because there's always a lead up, the music lead up, and whatever the
silence or
the silence. So that some white person's doing some dumb shit. It's coming. But I won't spoil it, but I'll just say that people were doing something completely normal. They were just being people. And then, bam! It came. I actually shut out. I was like, Jesus Christ! I did not expect it to come at all.
That's what
it was very good because it also played into the scene and helped move along that scene and develop the characters for that particular scene.
For sure.
So that's what I liked even more because it played into that as well.
Okay.
Well, did you see the time on that clock?
Yeah, that's like
it's really late. But
I didn't know what time we started. To be honest, because we took a while to set up.
We've been on for an hour.
There's no time.
13 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up shortly. But I haven't gone to see that one yet.
I definitely highly recommend it.
Yeah,
the first episode I was like, okay, is this leading to some generic thriller? It's got 10 episodes. They're about 40-50 minutes long. But then what do you get? The twist that comes in some of those episodes is just wow.
So how horrifying are we talking? We're talking about Stranger Things season 2 horrifying?
I actually have not watched that.
Stranger Things is
no, but they have some some creepy things in there.
Okay.
I mean, so basically the premise of the series is there's a family of 7 who used to live in a house called Hill House because the original owners are called the Hills. So there's a traumatic event that happens one particular night, which is the first episode.
I thought it was like a house on the hill.
No, it's literally it's called Hill House.
My
The Haunting of Hill House.
I was too literal.
Maybe it was also.
And then so the story goes between the events leading up to when they first went into the house because they went there to live there for a summer while they redid the house to sell it. So, it spans over that. The flashback is a period of a month or two, and then it flashes between modern life, which is like, I actually don't know. I want to say like 30 years later, so they're living their modern life, and it's showing how the characters are affected still by the events that happened there.
Oh, nice.
Like emotional and obviously.
So it has
still haunting, so there's emotional and the actual haunting going on.
It has like it vibe then, kind of sort of. Or that would be time skip, and then obviously they affect us kids and
kind of, but it's just a twist because the whole thing is literally about the house. And once you find out what the house is, you're like, whoa.
Okay. I'm interested. I like what it is.
I'll definitely check this out. I finished reading tonight, so I'll maybe give it a well. They want to watch that tonight.
I definitely want to watch it at night.
That's 10 hours.
I have a cat keeping company. I watch it by myself.
Well, see, there you go. You have you have a cat to keep you company.
Although I scared one of the cats. And one of the cats scared me because I was focused on the show and then they just jumped on me. I was just like, I nearly hit the cat across the room.
Oh, wow. Abuse. Oh, yeah, but I'll definitely check this out. So more things coming from Netflix. I'm just going to wrap up with this. Henry Cavill is in The Witcher. So I've never played The Witcher. I know nothing about The Witcher, but I see that Henry Cavill really pushed to get on this this show. Yeah. And so have you guys played the game?
I'm familiar with the lore, but I haven't played the game.
Yeah, I know of the game. I know people that.
I know there's a Witcher card game even.
Is there?
Yeah.
There's a book. There's an original book series, and then all these other media spawn from it.
Yeah.
Castlevania came out. This season 2 came out this month or last month, right?
Yes.
It came out this month. Yeah. But
was it November? Oh.
Yeah, no, October.
Yeah.
But last month. Jesus, it's November, right?
Yeah.
But it came out last month. Still have not seen that yet.
No, I still have to watch that.
I wasn't a big fan of season 1.
I'm very interested to watch it.
I enjoy season 1, but I definitely would allocate enough to check because I think it's up there with what they call the trinity of animated vampire series. So it's up there with Vampire Entity and Hellsing and Trinity Blood in terms of quality and just where it goes.
Right.
So I'm hoping. I heard season 2 continues the trend, and I am a fan of the later Castlevania characters. Like I love Alucard, and I love Dracula and those sort of stories. Not really a huge fan of the Belmonts. I just like the side characters a lot more. So
yeah, I didn't like the Belmont guy. That's my thing.
Which Belmont did they have?
What the original one? Someone is Dracula, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, someone is Dracula.
Yeah, but I didn't like that guy at all.
Yeah, the original that the NES games are based off of, it gets kind of cliche. Yeah. And then, but I like the spin-off guys. Like obviously, you have Simon, the original Belmont, and you have Alucard from Symphony of the Night. Because I play that game a lot on PS1, so I know that character, and I think it's pretty cool. So. I think season 2 has some of that in it from what I hear, from what I've seen. So looking forward to seeing it.
Hey, I'll see it. I know some people on my timeline were saying that it even made them cry. So I'll see that. I don't know where the tears came from. Maybe it was just onions getting chopped quite vigorously.
Is it making cry, or is it?
I don't know. Maybe it was just like sometimes depression hits you when you're watching.
But a different type of fare. We had Big Mouth season 2. A different type of fare.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with Big Mouth, Big Mouth is an animated series about puberty basically and growing up in high school.
I feel like Big Mouth is pretty popular right now. I don't know if a lot of people watch season 2 though.
I didn't hear much talk about season 2 as I did about season 1.
Yeah,
sure.
Season 2 wasn't as good. It's not to say that it didn't have like amazing episodes.
They had
because the Sheehan Wizard, like he was. It was like my guy from Harry Potter that plays Sirius Black.
I know who you mean. I can't remember his name.
But he was a Sheehan Wizard.
It actually kind of looked like him too.
No, that great that plays Alfred. Commissioner Gordon. I said right?
Is it him? I think
Sirius Black. Yeah.
It might be the different actor, but I know it's like I know who it was. That guy. I will show you a picture, but Jesus Christ. But yeah, it was hilarious. It was really hilarious.
The body positive. It's a very positive series for sure. It encourages homosexuality. Not encourages, I guess. I mean,
encourages homosexuality.
I mean, what's the word?
Just stall your head.
We accept it.
Let me
encourages acceptance. That's what I meant to say.
Thank you.
That's what I meant to say.
Let me just take the ball from you before you bite your tongue and then it starts wiggling on the floor here. Dear Lord in heaven, forgive this child. He really did not know what he was saying. But
the words are important, my friend.
Yes, they are.
Words are important.
My recommendation for you guys is to watch The Good Place. The Good Place is a sitcom comedy, and it's based on a group of people who. There's this lady called Eleanor Shellstrop who goes to heaven. Yeah, it's that. She goes to heaven. And it's called The Good Place. And, she's rewarded for all the good things she did in
they call it heaven in the series?
They call it The Good Place, but, it is heaven.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah, but she's rewarded for all the good things she did, given this, nice little place in heaven with a soulmate and all that stuff. The only thing is that, they got the wrong person. She did none of those things. She actually belongs in hell. Then it follows the story of someone who is doomed to damnation, actually trying to learn to be a good person while they're in heaven, and it has a lot of ethical puns in it. It's a big ethical kind of thing.
I've heard of it, but I didn't.
Ethics is a main part of the show, and how learning to be a good person, and whether learning ethics actually teaches you to be good, because Alexander the Great was Aristotle's student. And he still went on to kill 1 million people and conquer the world. So maybe learning ethics doesn't necessarily make you a good person, but the show explores all these different things. Yeah. And every character is very well-rounded, very well done. It's completely unconventional sitcom because every season the status quo changes. And it is never the same as the last season. There's always something new to explore, new scenarios. Really amazing show, blows my mind all the time. It's at season 3 right now, and definitely watch it. I started watching it one day just out of curiosity, and legit could not stop.
Is it 30-minute episodes?
It's 30-minute episodes, yeah. And it's really cool. It's great. A no laugh track sitcom.
Yeah. So far, it sounds like Master and None-ish.
Yes.
Jenna has a question here about it. She says, it might teach you how to pretend to be good.
I guess it can teach you how to pretend to be good. But it's deception. That's not the virtuous mind. Something.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Immanuel Kant, that's what he said.
Yeah. Jenna, what are you planning here with this question exactly?
Is that you, Jenna? Do you pretend to be good, or you're actually just an evil person? You're going to the bad place. But thank you everyone for joining us in our first live stream for dealing with. She said no. No, you're bad.
I always recommend on Netflix, by the way, BoJack Horseman season 5.
Oh yeah,
because that came out September, so that would have been after our last podcast.
Yeah, BoJack
Horseman. I always recommend. If you're unfamiliar with it, it follows
it's a horseman.
Yeah, in this universe, they're
anthropomorphic. You know what he did in school? Anthropology.
Oh,
and he can't pronounce.
I did linguistics. Anthropology is not.
But you did anthropology too, right?
I mean, I did anthropology at some point. Yes.
Yeah, I forgot to say the word now. But is it word with anthropomorphic animals? Yeah, is that the word?
I cannot remember.
There's animal people, man. There's animal people, and they live in a world with real people. They have relationships with real people.
Yes,
so there's bestiality. Yeah, that's not the focus of it. But it is about this celebrity who was a very self-destructive guy.
He was very successful, and now he's not successful, and that. I think the show deals with depression very well. I mean,
it deals with depression, also understanding that you are often the cause of your own problems, and sometimes you don't even realize how
Because you go into it, you think it's a comedy, but then no, it just the first season I will say is the weakest by far.
Because I don't think it's I wouldn't say that.
Expectations is what changed it, because when I first watched it,
I thought it was going for a comedy.
When I first watched it, I was comparing it to Rick and Morty in my head, so I was expecting Rick and Morty style humor. And now when I heard where it goes, I'm like, okay, I probably should not be watching it like we were watching Rick and Morty. I should watch it for its own thing.
Another thing is the problem is like a lot of people watch the first season thinking it to be a comedy because somebody was like, "Oh, this show is not funny at all." It's like, well, it's not really funny.
It has there's moments, sure.
Yeah, there's comedy in it, but I think it's maybe like the point of where we're at now, where when we see like an adult animated show, we just expect it to be some kind of comedy. But no, it's a very like honest look at the self-destructive nature of people without glamorizing it.
It kind of reminds me of Californication a bit.
Right, but the only thing is like Californication had this tendency of like glamorizing his depression. Like even though he was depressed, like he never really...
After a certain couple of seasons, it turns into like this like fuck fest.
Pretty much. It's like he gets depressed, but it's like,
in the first two seasons, it was some real shit in there.
Yeah, the first season was deep, and you really felt like him have to pay the price of his own mess and feeling the consequences. Yeah. After that, like it really wasn't as much. And so like, I think like Californication was like it's probably a good example of that. But I think like BoJack manages to stay consistent. We're at season 5.
This was the end of season.
Yeah, and like it manages to stay very consistent and always push the envelope in how it portrays the character and his depression. So I think it's definitely like well recommended stuff. But thank you all for joining us and managing through our blunders. Like legit, we were just gonna do audio, but we found a way to work this out at the last minute. So we figured, why not give it a bash? So subscribe to this channel, and the next time when we are ready, you'll get a notification. Oh, sorry.
Water break.
Next time, you will get a notification letting you know when we are ready to record and when the next report is live. So send us your questions for anything that you'd like us to discuss.
Series, movies, comics, books.
Anything you want to know about.
Anything nerdy.
Comics or video games. And we'll see you the next time. Same Nerd Channel. Our guests signing off. Let us know who you are and where they can find you.
My name is Delvin again, Delvin Howell. You can find me on Facebook under Delvin Sin Channel Howell and Sin Stabber on Instagram. So yeah, that's me.
I'm Zach, Senor Ludiloco on Facebook. That's Senor Ludiloco, Ludiloco. And on Instagram as Sir Ludiloco. And I know my pages have been active, but I'm planning to get them back active. But you can go and like and follow those pages.
Sir, he says. Give the Sir to his name.
Sir, Instagram, Senior, Facebook.
And I am Sir Nelson, the Rubik's Cuban, the Cuban Missile Crisis, Lord Nerd of House Nerd, King of the Analysts, and the First Meme, the man of the hour with the Black Panther power. 1-2, Freddy sending you nudes. The Daydreamer on Elm Street. The Daydreamer on Elm Street.
Well, that's a rock.
But that's So we're signing out. Thank you for joining us, and you have a blessed weekend.
Peace.
I don't know how to stop this. End stream.
I will make a wish on a star, and I'll wish I was home once again. Though I'd like to look down at the earth from above, I would miss all the places and people I love. So although I may go, I'll be coming home soon. 'Cause I don't want to live on the moon. No, I don't want to live on the moon.